Prosecutors in South Korea have formally charged a Brazilian woman in her 30s with stalking and trespassing after she allegedly visited the home of Jungkook nearly 24 times within a single month. According to the Seoul Western District Prosecutor's Office, the suspect, identified only as A, was indicted on February 27, 2026 for violating South Korea's anti-stalking law and unlawfully entering the residential area surrounding Jungkook's home in the Yongsan district. Authorities say the woman repeatedly visited the residence of the member of BTS between December 7, 2025 and January 4, 2026, making approximately 20 to 23 visits during that period. Repeated attempts to contact the singer. Investigators revealed that during several visits, the suspect allegedly pressed the doorbell hundreds of times, waited around the property in hopes of seeing the global pop star, and left letters and packages outside the residence. Police first apprehended the woman at the scene in December 2025. However, after being released, she reportedly continued returning to the property despite an emergency restraining order issued against her. The situation escalated again in January 2026 when the suspect revisited the location, prompting authorities to make another arrest and initiate formal prosecution. Suspect claims actions were motivated by love for Jungkook and insisted she had no intention of harming the singer. However, prosecutors concluded that her repeated presence and attempts to contact the artist met the legal definition of stalking under South Korean law. Family cites mental health concerns. The woman's family in Brazil later spoke to local media outlets, including G1, stating that she has a history of serious mental health issues. According to relatives, she had stopped taking prescribed medication and had developed the belief that Jungkook was her true love. The family has reportedly requested that she be deported back to Brazil so she can receive treatment under their care rather than face prolonged legal proceedings in South Korea. The case has attracted widespread coverage from Korean media outlets such as Yonhap News Agency and the Korea Herald, sparking renewed discussions about celebrity safety and fan boundaries in the K-pop industry. Fans of BTS, known globally as ARMY, have also voiced concern online, emphasizing that stalking cannot be justified as fan behavior and urging stronger protections for artists. As of now, Jungkook's agency, Big Hit Music, under parent company HYBE, has not released a new official statement regarding the incident. However, the company has previously stated that it maintains a zero-tolerance policy towards threats or invasions of privacy involving its artists.
The stalking case involving Jungkook has taken a dramatic turn after the Brazilian suspect reportedly told investigators that her actions were motivated by love for the global K-pop star. Prosecutors from the Seoul Western District Prosecutor's Office confirmed that the woman in her 30s has been formally charged with stalking and trespassing after repeatedly visiting Jungkook's residence in Seoul's Yongsan district. Authorities say the suspect visited the home of the member of BTS more than 20 times between December 2025 and early January 2026, sometimes ringing the doorbell repeatedly and leaving letters and packages outside the property. "I love Jungkook." During questioning, the woman reportedly admitted to visiting the location multiple times, but insisted that she had no harmful intentions. According to investigators, she told police that she acted because of her love for Jungkook. However, prosecutors emphasized that personal feelings do not justify repeated intrusion into someone's private residence, and the pattern of behavior clearly meets the legal definition of stalking under South Korean law. Ignoring emergency restrictions. Police first detained the suspect in December 2025 after complaints about suspicious activity near the residence. She was later released but given an emergency restraining order prohibiting her from approaching the property again. Despite that order, authorities say she returned to the location in January 2026, prompting a second arrest and the decision to proceed with formal prosecution. Family speaks out. Meanwhile, the suspect's family in Brazil has told media outlets, including G1, that she has struggled with serious mental health issues. Relatives claim she had stopped taking prescribed medication and had become convinced that Jungkook was her destined partner. They have appealed to authorities to consider deportation and medical treatment rather than a lengthy legal case in South Korea. Safety concerns rise. The incident has sparked widespread discussion across Korean media, including reports from Yonhap News Agency and the Korea Herald. Fans of BTS worldwide have also expressed concern, emphasizing that stalking cannot be excused as fan devotion. Jungkook's agency, Big Hit Music, part of HYBE, has long maintained a strict policy against harassment or invasion of privacy targeting its artists. Legal proceedings in the case are expected to continue as authorities review the evidence and determine the next steps.
New details have emerged in the stalking case involving Jungkook, revealing the extent of repeated attempts made by a Brazilian woman accused of targeting the global K-pop star. According to prosecutors from the Seoul Western District Prosecutor's Office, the suspect, identified only as a woman in her 30s, has been formally indicted for stalking and trespassing after repeatedly visiting Jungkook's residence in the Yongsan district. Authorities say the woman visited the home of the member of BTS between 20 and 23 times from December 7, 2025 to January 4, 2026. Hundreds of doorbell presses. Investigators revealed that during several of these visits, the suspect allegedly pressed the doorbell hundreds of times, attempting to get the singer's attention. In addition, she reportedly waited outside the property for extended periods, hoping to catch a glimpse of Jungkook, and left letters, notes, and mailed packages near the entrance. The repeated visits raised immediate concerns among local residents and security personnel in the neighborhood. First arrest and continued visits. Police initially detained the woman in December 2025 after reports of suspicious activity near the property. Following questioning, she was released but placed under an emergency restraining measure that prohibited her from returning to the residence. However, authorities say the suspect violated the restriction by visiting the property again in January 2026, prompting a second arrest and leading prosecutors to pursue formal charges. Family claims mental health struggles. The suspect's family in Brazil later spoke to local media outlets, including G1, stating that the woman has a history of severe mental health challenges. Relatives claim she had stopped taking prescribed medication and developed a fixation on Jungkook, believing he was her true love. They have reportedly asked authorities to consider sending her back to Brazil so she can receive treatment from her family. Growing concerns over idol safety. The case has been widely reported by major Korean media organizations such as Yonhap News Agency and the Korea Herald. Fans of BTS, known globally as ARMY, have also spoken out online, stressing that stalking is a serious crime and should never be mistaken for fan support. Meanwhile, Jungkook's agency, Big Hit Music, a subsidiary of HYBE, has previously stated that it maintains a zero-tolerance policy toward threats or privacy violations against its artists. Authorities say the legal process is ongoing as prosecutors continue reviewing evidence in the case.